is, baby. Y'all know what time it is. It's your boy, baby. Easy work boxing, about to hit you everywhere but on the feet with this one. Please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Y'all know what time it is. About to hit you everywhere but under your feet with this one. Vasil Lomachenko versus Richard Commey. Y'all know it's going down. Two fighters who lost to Teofimo Lopez, the former unified lightweight champion of the world. You know, Lomachenko, said it was a draw. He came out with shit saying that, like most fighters who lose say, he had an injury. His shoulder was fucked up and this, that, and the other. But either way it go, he lost. He said it was a draw. I can believe it was a draw because the later rounds, Lomachenko was showing up and showing out on Lopez's ass. But if that had been a 15-round fight, he would have beat Lopez. But now we know that Lopez fight against Lomachenko was really nothing more than a fluke, because if Lomachenko would have fought the first earlier rounds of that fight, then he would have beat Lopez. But now we have him versus Richard Commey. Richard Commey, hell of a fighter. Come for a fighter, losses to Robert Easter Jr., a guy named, I can't say his name, Shikakova or something like that. Forgive me if I'm not saying it, but decent fighter with power. But in this fight, y'all, automatically I'm going to have to go with Vasil Lomachenko. And the reason I'm going to have to go with him is because even though you see the skills and the power of Commey, which is, you see that he's a boxer, he has talent, he comes behind the jab with his punches. But Commey is not a counterpuncher. In order to beat Vasil Lomachenko, you must be a counterpuncher. If you think about Teofimo Lopez, when Vasil Lomachenko would jump to his left side, his athleticism and his quickness with that right uppercut would stop Vasil Lomachenko from being able to create offense from his jumping to the left side. Now, Richard Commey, on the other hand, he's a straight jab, come forward, combination, and he'll continue on. He's not a fighter that moves off the back foot or creates distance or anything like that. His defense is really not, I ain't gonna say up to par. I'm gonna say this, that when he's giving off his offense, he doesn't look to create defense. He doesn't do defensive move, head movement, or anything like that. Richard Commey is open to be hit. And against a fighter, a counterpuncher like Vasil Lomachenko, come forward style, not Mexican style, but a relentless style, come forward technically, it's going to be a problem for Richard Commey. Now, could I see Commey possibly hitting or hurting Vasil Lomachenko? Yes. But then we also have to understand that Commey is coming off a long layoff, 2019, if I ain't mistaken. If that was his last fight, 2019 was his last fight. So y'all got to realize, no tune-up, no nothing. He coming back in fighting a fighter like Vasil Lomachenko. He at least should have had a tune-up. But that's what Vasil Lomachenko normally does, the so-called pound-for-pound fighter of the world that they gave him until he got beat by Teofimo Lopez, which most of his fights, he fought Nicholas Waters when he was on a long layoff. He fought Regendow at a catch weight. Was another fighter he done fought. He won't give Gary Russell Jr. a rematch. Just to say certain things about Lomachenko, and it's crazy that, like I said, when he lost to Teofimo Lopez, why wasn't Teofimo Lopez named the pound-for-pound champion of the world? If you beat the pound-for-pound champion of the world, you should become that. But that just shows you the racism, and it shows you the bias side of boxing. Because he should have been known as the undisputed champion of the pound-for-pound champion of the world. But they didn't do that for Teofimo Lopez. But regardless of whatever you could say negative about Lomachenko, you can't deny his talent or his skills, and I can't do that. He's a very talented fighter. One of the best. He has the best resume at lightweight, in my opinion. Basically, he just going out there finna beat a fighter off a long layoff who hasn't had a tune-up. Richard Commey is a strong fighter, decent fighter. But I see no kind of punching ability, which is I feel will be necessary to beat a fighter like Lomachenko. He doesn't have that, and I just see him coming out there, basically come behind the jab and trying to come forward on Lomachenko, and not realizing that Lomachenko's style is way different than the average fighters he fought. You need to check out Richard Commey's resume too as well, and then you can understand why he's lost to the certain type of fighters he's lost to. Like you can say even now that he probably wouldn't have lost to Lopez if it wasn't for the fact that he got caught early. From his style of fighting, I would say that Richard Commey would have beat Teofimo Lopez if he wouldn't have got caught. But I'm sorry, y'all. I had to smoke one. You know, it's Saturday night. I'm having a good time. I'm sorry. I apologize. But, you know, I ain't going to lie to you. But, you know, Richard Commey is not a counterpuncher. Richard Commey doesn't really create distance. And not creating distance against Lomachenko is a big mistake. You have to, because he can jump inside and out of you. He's like a worse Manny Pacquiao with skill. Or you can't say worse, but I'll say he's similar to Manny Pacquiao with the way he can jump in and out and create distance, which makes him more dangerous. And you know, I just don't see Richard Commey beating Vasyl Lomachenko at all in this fight. If he had counterpunching ability, I'll probably say he had a chance of knocking down or hurting. But I could see Richard Commey probably knocking Lomachenko down, but I don't see him winning at all. I'm going for Lomachenko by unanimous decision, 12-round decision, beating Commey probably possibly knocking down or, you know what I'm saying, hurting Vasyl Lomachenko, but I don't see him beating him. I don't see him beating him at all. Yeah, we can say that, but at the same time, Vasyl Lomachenko would not give Gary Russell Jr. a rematch. He would not give him a rematch, so evidently it was some truth to something. You know what I'm saying? I take nothing away from Lomachenko. He beat him, you know what I'm saying, no matter what the excuse Gary Russell Jr. made, but, you know, I feel that Gary Russell Jr. should get that rematch. But then you have a lot of fans that say that Gary Russell Jr. actually, you know, didn't get his ass whooped in that fight, and I totally disagree. Lomachenko beat that ass. He beat that ass. I'm just telling you the truth. I like Gary Russell Jr., but Lomachenko got him. You know what I'm saying? And I think this guy that's coming up, this Mayorga or however you pronounce his name, this Filipino guy that worked with Eddie Roach, I think he gonna stop Gary Russell Jr. You know, I ain't looked at it. I ain't did my film study for myself and watched the fight and, you know, tried to see who gonna win what, but I feel that this guy probably gonna stop Gary Russell Jr. And once again, y'all, I apologize about the cigarettes, but y'all don't understand. You know what I'm saying? I've been drinking. I had to smoke a cigarette. But Gary Russell Jr. Gary Russell Jr., he need to be really worried about this guy coming up, this Filipino guy. Mark Mayosa, or whatever Mayosa. This dude is dangerous. He's very sharp. He's very quick, very powerful. And I think this dude may take Gary Russell Jr. But Commey is not going to beat Vasyl Lomachenko. He just stepping back in the ring, no tune-up. He coming off of a knockout. Self-esteem probably, well, I wouldn't say self-esteem still low, but y'all have to think, when fighters lose, their mind is different. You know, they're not confident as they were. I mean, that's common sense, right? So going to pick him right after a knockout loss and then trying to fight him, I don't think, you know, he's going to be able to prosper in the fight. So that's why I'm going to go with Vasyl Lomachenko. But with the power of Commey, due to the fact that he's been training, you know, in the gym, I do see him probably knocking Vasyl Lomachenko down. But I don't see him knocking him out. You know, I don't see him knocking him out. Because I think Richard Commey would have beat Teofimo Lopez in the later rounds if he wouldn't have been stopped in the early rounds. And from Vasyl Lomachenko being a former 130-pounder, I don't think he'll have enough power to knock out Commey. So this is gonna be a 12-round fight. Unless they could throw in a towel for Richard Commey, which is a possibility. That's what I'm expecting. I think in the 9th, 10th, 11th round, they might throw in a towel because Commey might be getting beat up too bad. Because Lomachenko will be sharper. He recently has had fights, and Commey has not. So, it's just my opinion of it. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it. This is Easy Work Boxing. Thank y'all for y'all time, y'all love, and y'all support. If you want to support the channel, go to Cash App, go to PayPal. Also, go to the GoFundMe. It's linked in. Everything is linked in the description if you want to show some love and support. But y'all, I'm riding with, Vasil Lomachenko versus Commey. And thank y'all. Stay tuned. This Easy Work Boxing. I'm out.